Good day, good sir. Dude, Sergio, dude, sir, this is crazy. What are you doing? You just came back on Twitch. Holy shit, dude. How are you doing? Thank you so much. I mean, I don't know. I'm lost for words right now. I'm just confused what to say in this situation. Oh, wow. Looking good as always. Man, you haven't aged a bit. Oh, no. No, you're doing just fine. Yes. Nah. The specific resistors on the first PCI slot went off. Now, luckily, I was able to get that repaired. The motherboard is fine. It's just that the CPU went off. So
Yeah.
first, I spoke to some of the guys who can provide me with stuff. So what I did was that with the Amazon US stuff, the stuff that I had, I got in DDR4 3600 memory kits,
Yeah.
and I ordered 16 gig, and in Amazon US's generosity, I got 32 gigs instead. They sent me two kits of these.
Wow.
Like holy shit! And I was like, "Ooh, GG."
Amazon paid it forward
Didn't
to
come
you.
together.
Lovely.
Yeah, I mean, like, wow, I'd love to. Here it is.
Yeah. Nice.
And I spoke to MSI for a motherboard. They were like, okay, we can give you a Z590 motherboard. I was hoping I would get a B550,
Yeah.
but it was like, yeah, they had their own marketing criteria, and also at the same time, considering I would be using this for testing the
Yeah.
equipment and everything at the same time, and also the fact that on Z590, if you're going to test M.2,
Mm-hmm.
you can test it without putting a card on a daughter board and testing on the first PCI slot, because apparently on the B550 and on the X570,
Yeah.
um, the PCI 4.0 is only on the first slot,
Okay.
while on the Z590, since it has 20 PCI 4.0 lanes,
Mm-hmm.
it's shared between the first slot and the first M.2, or the first two M.2
Mm-hmm.
slots.
Yeah. Different combination.
And yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be like the purchasing decision during
No.
convenient times. Like,
Yeah. For a consumer point of view, no.
yeah,
They would just put one drive, one graphics card, done. But
yeah, they're not going to be bothered with it.
for
But
a media creator that needs multiple drives,
yeah,
or then bandwidth becomes priority in regards to PSI
right.
lanes, and yeah, no, it's good, man. Good to
And
hear.
usually system builds stay with me for 6 years. I mean, before this, I was using Gigabyte 890 GPA UD3 Edge, and before that, it
Yeah.
was Asus P5Q Deluxe,
Mm-hmm.
and before that, it was Asus A810 ESLI.
Wow. Bit of a
Yeah.
history there, my friend. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
a catalogue diary of tech
I I
journey.
actually I actually miss the good old days. The Socket 939 days. Even though
Ah,
stuff like
do you miss the North Bridge and South Bridge on Intel?
ah, well,
AGP slots.
well, well, I ate an SLI was I guess the first generation, one of the first chipsets to come with the PCI slots.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember using AMD 3000 plus, and when Intel Core 2 Duo came, I decided to get a second-hand Opteron 165 plus, and I was like,
Optum, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I was like, I'm curious, like, how are these second-hand
Hmm.
servo processors do? And they were pretty decent for the price, and it did last long. And
Yeah.
A10 SLI was a very good motherboard. It's just that I had a friend who was giving away, selling a system off before shifting to the UK back then,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was good. Every motherboard I had, it has a bit of history. I think I have all the motherboard except the A10 SLI. I have the P5Q Deluxe,
Mm,
and I have this. I guess out of all the things, motherboards are the one that's staying behind, and
yeah.
the processors.
Ah.
So,
No, for me, it's cases. I got cases galore because I
ah,
buy second-hand systems to build refurbished systems for people that can't afford to buy new systems, and I look around the second-hand market and try to find parts. So I provide a mix of new and refurb parts. So with that, I take the parts that I want and then I sell the parts that I don't need. But I always end up with cases. I got about 17 cases galore. I mean,
oh shit.
no, no, I'm not kidding. Right? I'll show you. Just, just like on the alcoves, there's just cases, cases, and then more at the back.
You know,
It
if you plan to start a PC case company, you can call it Case Master. You can have like a hoodie on top, and you
yeah.
can just do it like this. And hey, I'm the master of cases. There you go.
No, and that's just here on my loft, and I've got two sheds with,
Oh,
loaded up with just stuff that are server cases, like HP Z600s that I picked up like super cheap and took parts out, dual sockets. And I'm a hoarder, which is
right.
paying in my favour at the moment because at the moment the prices of PC parts is absolutely mental
Horrendous.
due to the silicon shortage and the mining. So it's the worst time to build a PC. So when I saw that you're trying to raise some money for your some parts, I thought, you know what, let me pay it forward, my friend. You know.
Yeah, first I confirmed with others, and I got the parts over here. I had to be sure, obviously, or else it just doesn't make sense to
Mm,
buy a couple of parts and
of
then
course.
you'll never know when the whole scenario will just. So good thing I had like some Amazon gift coupons to get those RAMs, and magically Amazon US graciously sent me two more kits. uh
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
And MSI sent a motherboard, a C 590, and yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. Sergio,
No,
my friend,
that's
this
okay.
reality is still not setting in. It's not like you would.
No, no, no. Listen, I don't know if you've been following what I've been doing, but about
Yeah, I have been. I have been.
12 weeks ago, I came across a YouTube channel called Traders Reality. There's a gentleman there called Tino. His full name is Constantino Pisto, and he, in essence, is a forex trader. He trades currencies for the last 12
Mhm.
years. That's his job. And he's since January been streaming like 16 hours a day, every day, pretty much, give or take, since January. And he's been virtually providing information. It's like an online course on YouTube as such, for free,
Right.
by the way, for free. This,
Right.
people charge thousands a month subscription for this. I'm virtually showing what he does and explaining from his point of view his system that he kind of put together over the
Hmm.
12 years and how it could be applied to the crypto market. Now, I've been involved in crypto since 10 years plus. Okay, back before Bitcoin, was Bitcoin. Um, so I never traded in my life. I'm a holder. I stake. So I decided to have a look at and virtually see what the system was about, and I
Right.
virtually put in 20 hours a day, every
Hmm.
day. I work full time, you know, and I virtually broke it down to get an understanding. I studied, so I was so I've been operating for 4 hours sleep pretty much for the last 12 weeks. So hence why I'm knackered. I lost about 15 pounds in weight. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, because when you got to train your eyes, you got to price
Yeah.
watch. So during all of this, it came it just kind of fast tracked it to something that I've been working for the last 8 years,
Yes.
especially the last four, becoming decentralized from banking. So yeah, I've virtually for the last 4 years I've visited, people like yourself, and there's been other people, and most don't want me to record or don't give consent to share. Okay, Some that are put on public because it's private. Some of the things that I've done is
Okay.
private. You know, it's not.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They're very humble, but they feel embarrassed. That that sort of thing, which is fine. Which is fine. Um, so it's just given me this last 12 weeks. It put me in a position to kind of help on a bigger scale and a lot more people. So um, just to let you know, my friend, you were number 262.
Okay. I'll definitely remember that.
Remember that number, my friend.
I'll definitely remember that. 262.
And just because I help somebody doesn't mean that I forget. So I've been revisiting some friends that I've revisited. Just make sure that they're okay because it's been a shit year, man. I've lost my grandmother in
I
January. You know,
the
I can't even go to her
the
funeral because of COVID. She didn't die of COVID, by the way, but that I couldn't even go back to my home island of Madeira to go to her funeral because 2 weeks we have to be locked. So yeah, um,
it
it's
I mean, there have been some people in this line of work that I no longer have good relation with, and I've been told that a bunch of them have COVID because, in their infinite wisdom, they decided to have a party. Okay, I mean,
yeah.
what can you say?
Listen,
But I,
it's their
I was,
decisions. It's their
it's
decision.
their decision.
But
But I
unfortunately,
gave
their
them a
decision
call.
impact others that obviously that could
Yeah,
die.
I gave them a call. I was like, hey, I want you to get better, and I wish you well.
Mm.
And that's more important than anything right now.
Yeah.
Well, these things just come
Yeah,
and
you put
go.
any differences aside. When it's stuff like this, it doesn't matter what's happened in the past. Just
Yeah.
put it aside, on a sideline, and we can deal with that later. It's
I mean, I wasn't expecting any response because the intensity of the argument which we had
uh-huh.
was
But when's
dramatic.
yeah, but when we have a shock in a system like that, that's eventually you could die. It puts things in perspective,
Yeah,
does it not?
it
You know,
does.
and this is what a lot of people have been speaking, and I've been speaking with a lot of people. Video calls like this, and this year,
Right,
it's been a year of reflection. People have been
right.
working full time, never had the time. All of a sudden, they've been furloughed at home, and actually took the time and obviously, you know what, could do better. I'm going to study something. I can work from home remotely. You know, I don't have to be, live my life to work. You know, I work to live. There's a big difference. So a lot of people made some positive changes, but a lot of people have struggled because they've been stuck in a pattern. Wake up, go to work, get a bit of money, come home, go on holiday. And this year, this been vast, like mentally. I've been coaching a lot of people that just
Yeah, a lot
cannot
of
cope,
people.
cannot cope, man, cannot cope. Even those that have kids, they're just like home teaching kids at home. They now all of a sudden have a massive appreciation of schools and the teachers at school, of how much they do for the kids, because they have to do it on a daily basis for a short period of time. A little 4 week stint, and it's like, how do you keep all this going and working and keeping the kids happy and fulfilling all the homework needs and non-tech people all of a sudden
You're
have to
right.
do Zoom calls and send PDFs, and it's been a
Yeah, it
steep
can
learning.
get very overwhelming for them.
Yeah, overwhelming. I've got a friend of mine who was quite tech savvy, but he kind of switched off for a few years, and he struggled. It's like it's basic stuff, and I'm like, wow, man. You're about to say you're older than me, a few years older, but what's happened? That's why he stopped learning. That when he stopped learning,
Yeah, that's it. Good.
yeah. But there you go. No, no. I wanted to speak to you because visually, I've been following what's been happening on India, on the UK, a lot of media coverage from your country, and the situation is a lot dire than what's being reported, and I just wanted to make sure that if I'm glad that you said your family's all safe, which is good,
Yeah, I
and
mean, at least in my city,
yeah,
I wouldn't exactly say manageable, but uh, in cities like Delhi, it's really
Oof.
bad. I mean, I
Yeah.
know people who have not been affected by COVID, but they're trapped indoors
Mhm.
because their neighbor has COVID.
Mhm.
People down living downstairs have COVID,
Yeah.
so they're like, if we step outside, then something might happen.
Yeah.
And these
Uh,
a
I was
lot of
ge-
these people are sole bread earners for their family, and
yeah.
to the
That's
point that their fathers and mothers have
they have
retired.
to. They have to go out. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't,
So
nobody eats. Yeah. I've been there, man. I've been there. I don't come from a privileged family. I look. There's the rich. There's the
right.
middle class. There's working
That's
class.
right.
There's the poor. There's a
Yeah.
big pile of crap, and then there was me. Right? That was my childhood, my friend. So I I have a different appreciation for anything that people. Someone else's rubbish was my gold, as such as they say.
Right.
Um, but I was going to ask you, how's the rollout of your government's like vaccine program? Because I saw a snip of the news, some of the pharmaceuticals saying, "Oh, we're going to provide the first X million at a reduced price." But then
That's just
was that just a media propaganda saying, "Oh, look,
it's not it's more like a government propaganda, because what it seemed like, they wanted the pricing of a particular political parties to be at a higher price,
right,
or that's how it seemed like it.
okay,
But the problem is that only one company is making
wow."
the vaccination, and
Within
they're not allowing Pfizer or anyone else to
not
get
yet,
the
really,
vaccination.
not even Seneca.
No,
Wow,
no one.
wow,
So, and the guy who is responsible for manufacturing these vaccinations,
yeah,
he went to the UK last night
okay.
to start a plant, and he said that powerful people in India have been threatening him.
Well,
And
I thought they. How did he manage to get in the country? They blocked anybody coming from India to come in.
I mean, these people have
Last
connections.
week, they blocked the borders
Yeah,
from your.
I
I
mean,
mean, no offense, but virtually when they
yeah.
virtually found out that, in essence, the
No,
figures
that's
were
the
almost.
first thing that people should do
Well,
when things go
absolutely.
bad.
No, they did the right
That
thing, but virtually when they found out that the figures were like ultimately double, if not more,
yeah,
what was being reported, yeah, they just, yeah, you're not
right.
coming in. You're not coming in. You know.
Right. I guess it's because he's a vaccination manufacturer and he was coming with the intent to
Mm,
set up a plant
yeah.
to make vaccinations. Maybe he must have received an
Okay,
exemption.
exemption, of sorts. Yeah, that
Right.
type of level of
So,
caliber of people tend to have
yeah.
that sort
But
of
the fact
privilege.
that people like him, someone who makes vaccinations, getting threats, he felt that he should move with his family for the
Yeah.
time being
Mm.
and see how it plays out. I mean, the previous
Ah,
prime minister said that, hey, give the licensing to other companies so that they can manufacture it.
yeah.
But
This is not a time to think of profit. You know,
this
you've got
feels,
thousands and thousands, tens if not hundreds of thousands of people dying. You
yeah,
know, and you're sitting on something that you could virtually, very easily, go to the biggest manufacturers around the world and versus arrive for a
right,
time period of say 6 months are giving licensing rights to produce. After that, that's it expires, right? For at least 6 months. Give
yeah.
that influx of huge amount because your country have a massive population. You need that
It's
rollout. You
it's
need
massive. It's massive. It's chaotic. It's come to the point that these people have said that you need to book via app, but
yeah.
they don't understand that a significant population do not use mobile phones,
Exactly,
nor they
exactly.
have
Yeah,
internet.
yeah. That
So,
they need something like this so they can track, who's
right,
had it, who hasn't. In the UK, they had the rollout. It was a bit of a mix-up. It was like you
right,
can call your doctor, no, you can't. Then there was a website. Then there was a track and trace app, and now to the point where you get a letter saying,
right,
you're eligible for
right.
a vaccine. I haven't had mine. My mum has, my brother, but my
Okay,
family, my kids, nobody had any.
right,
And more than half the country already had the first dosage on since they've been rolling this out from like January till now,
right,
and now people are having the second dosage already because it's after 12 weeks. But yeah, and it's free. That's
Right.
that's that's the thing. U.S. Knowing my sister lives in the U.S.
Right.
and I speak with a guy called Mike Dutch, who's part, or he's the brand manager for Traders Reality, and he lives in
Hmm.
Florida, and he's been keeping me in touch in regards to what's happening. And before, medical cost there is ridiculous. They charge for everything. And when Trump was in power, God love him or hate him, he did nothing. There was nothing. 90 days later, Biden comes in. Every single American are within 5 miles of a vaccine center.
Right.
Right? That's amazing for the size of that country, and that is a big ass
Big
country,
country.
right? And to be able to achieve that in 90 days, wow. I don't
They
get
could have
me
done
wrong.
that
I'm
better.
not in
Yeah.
favor or against Biden, but I give credit where credit is due. From
Yeah.
virtually people saying we can't get a vaccine to being 5 miles away, in, done, dusted. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's a slow recovery, but it seems to be
yeah,
on a
yeah.
good
At least
track.
it's in a step in the right direction.
Right.
Even if people want it or they're anti-vaccine or for vaccine, but yeah,
Yeah, but even red states like Texas and all, people are getting shots easily.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's I know some people who got their shots and they already got their jobs, so they are like resuming
yeah,
their new career path.
yeah.
So that's how it is. It's pretty surreal. I mean, I believe that irrespective of what kind of country it is, if the right leader makes the right
Mm.
decisions,
Oh,
he can
absolutely.
move mountains. Like
Yeah, I mean, all you have to look at the country next to China.
right,
Okay, and they were ahead of the game. They didn't go shutting borders. They went to educate the population.
right,
That's their approach. And they had the lowest number of cases. When the pandemic kick-started and everybody was
right,
panicking, there were hardly
right.
any because the government spent money educating the schools, commercials on TV, how to, keep safe, and good practices and all that. So you educate the people of the country. So then when the influx hit, they were
Mhm.
prepared. So it wasn't a massive shock to the system of changing habits and behaviors. They were
Mhm.
mentally preparing them for this. And they're next to China, man. Next to
Yeah,
China. And then you have countries on the opposite side of the world having more cases than the likes of Taiwan. It's like, it is mental. But yeah, it's been definitely been an eye opener for me.
yeah.
And
And also in the middle of it, countries like Myanmar, the whole democratic system has been dismantled because of the military, and there's a military coup going on.
oh
I mean,
wow.
I mean, even if you keep this aside, there's a lot of things that's happening.
Oh yeah, the
That's
people, a lot of governments and taking advantage of this while everybody is distracted because this is a
right.
distraction, right?
Yeah,
You do realize this is a distraction. This wasn't just, oh, it just happened. This was created. This
right.
was created, right? This is not like, oh, this is a new virus we don't understand. No, this was created from
Myanmar, Hong
derivative
Kong,
from the virtually the lab itself was in Wuhan. Okay,
right.
you got to think who are the main people 8 years ago who was putting patents for COVID-19 and who owns the patents of COVID-19. And one big name comes up all the time: Bill Gates, my friend. Look it up, my friend. Look it up. Look who
Even
owns.
he has been involved in when it comes to not allowing other countries to get a patent for
Yeah,
the
he owns
corona
them all.
pandemic.
He owns
Yeah,
them all. It's not a coincidence, my friend. Okay, so to have something like this, and all of a sudden there's a power shift in regards to tech to pharmaceuticals. He
right.
stepped down. He's from Microsoft. He's not stepped down, but taking a back seat as such. And all of a sudden, um, he owns all the patents of COVID-19. How the hell does
And
that happen?
the other news that we are having right now is that Twitter has been taking down. and shadow banning everybody who's criticizing the government,
Mm-hmm.
and also people who are providing links and
Yeah.
contacts to for people to get access to oxygen and all the required medicine.
Yeah.
And sort of because the government wants to have an image where they are
Yeah.
apparently providing, but they are not able to provide to
No,
anyone.
that's true.
And it's very sickening to see that Twitter uh,
Yeah.
is the one that's facilitating all this censorship.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure on Twitter just because they allowed Trump for 4 years to say whatever he bloody wanted with no consequences. You know,
Yeah,
when the riot started, you know, when that Floyd guy got
yeah,
killed
yeah.
by,
They
yeah,
got me.
and
Yeah,
then the riot started and looting started, and Donald Trump tweeted, if when the loot starts, the shooting begins. It's like what?
every day was a
They were
bad event.
they were just like it was a crash that just got worse, worse and worse. And Twitter did nothing about it. Then all of a sudden, when he's about to come out of the White House, boom, you know,
Yeah, that was too late.
yeah, it was like, okay, so yeah,
I can understand a platform needs for something to happen to take an action, but they had a lot of opportunity and they did not.
they had 4 years of
Yeah,
opportunity. Crazy,
it's like
crazy.
and especially during 2020, it's like when you before you go to sleep, something happens,
Yeah.
and when you wake up, something else is
Oh
happening. It's
yeah.
like it never stops.
Ah,
It just never stops.
yeah.
It's like one big bad
It
24
eventually
hour
got to
big
a point
runoff.
where each day you said, it surely can't get any worse. And then something worse will come up. And like, what?
Right.
Did he just say that? I mean, I saw, what was it, when he was doing a live on the,
Oh, it was a flu. It will go away. It will go
it,
away. Like, oh no.
he was doing a live broadcast about the development of possible vaccines or possible
Right.
solutions, and he virtually turned around and he was saying, "Well, bleach. Bleach kills bacteria. Can't we do something with that?" And he looked at the woman who's like the specialist, and the woman's like, the eyes were like, "No, no."
Oh, don't look at me.
Don't look at me. No, don't mention that because you've got people that are gonna think they can inject you know, bleach and be COVID free.
I- I'm, I'm just
Oh,
surprised at that point he did not say anything about Tide Pod, considering the fact that once upon a time people used to swallow Tide Pod of all
oh,
things.
yeah, no, but
It's
it
crazy.
was that. I sat there and said, "Did he just say that? Did it? Are you kidding me? This is the guy who's at the moment has got the finger over the button that could pretty much end the world." Like, ooh, scary times.
Every hour, every tweet, every day was a bad event of that guy. It's like,
Yeah.
is this like a bad season of
No,
24?
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's done a lot of damage, but
Yeah,
his sons and daughter did even further damage because they took advantage of daddy's being president by
and that's
importing
what we
stuff and not paying import tax, and now they're
and that's
being
what we
virtually
know of,
investigated.
and that's what we know of at the present time. We
Oh,
don't know what else they have
oh
done.
well, oh we know that that. Yeah.
They must have done plenty of more,
Oh, of course, but
especially
risk.
the daughter who signed some sort of a brand deal with one of the Chinese companies to make
Mm,
merchandising and apparels of one of our fashion brands. And I was like, oh no.
yeah. Well, there you go. Nothing you can do about that, my friend. Just concentrate in your own country, my friend. Yeah. But
Yeah, it's
it's been nice speaking to you, man. It's been
I really
nice.
appreciate it,
Nah, no worries, man.
Mr. Sergio. I really
Not
appreciate
the
for what you
mister,
have.
just Sergio, a PC shared. I'm no mister. Right?
No,
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 34.
34. Well, I'm going to be 42 this month. So,
Yeah,
we're not
exactly.
that.
So
There's a bit, right? So it doesn't matter, does it? Age is irrelevant. It's what's in here that matters.
yeah, you look as same as before. So you never age.
If you saw trust me, I've aged a lot in those last
Oh,
12 months.
no.
Might not look appearance, but inside, yeah.
Well, as the song goes, 18 till you die. So
Yeah, active shoe
yeah,
size. There you go.
yeah.
No, cool, 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 cool. Right, I'm gonna leave you be, my
So
friend. All right.
I mean, what kind of
Okay.
build are you doing now? I'm just curious.
Actually, it's for well, I've got two. I've got a
Okay.
pile. It's been there for 4 weeks.
Oh,
There
sweet.
you
I
go.
love files.
Okay, so it's a 550M
Right.
Asus Prime with a Ryzen 36
Right.
Series 600 with a GTX 1070 Ti because that's the only
Okay.
card I could find was within the budget.
Right.
It's for 1080p 60, so it's nothing woo.
Right.
Solid state hard drive Samsung and 2 terabyte and 16 gigs of DDR 1600 and DDR4. Second, I think pretty much everything is brand new apart from the graphics card and the
Mhm.
storage mechanical hard drive. But it's been there for 4 weeks because I haven't had time. So I've got like pretty much two of those to do at some point.
Uh,
Um,
how's the state of graphic cards where you're at? How bad is it?
bad. You can't buy nothing new, man. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I had to buy whole systems. Getting to a point where if I want a graphics card for a build,
Right.
I have to buy a cheap pre-build that's
Right.
got the graphics card because it's
Right.
actually cheaper to
Yeah.
buy the whole
Right.
PC to get the card, which is new, it's got warranty, right? Than to buy the card in itself. That's how stupid it is. You know,
It's a good
GTX
thing. It's a good thing
1060
they
for
don't
about
use it.
400, was it £350? You
Yeah.
know, it's like that 1070, that's virtually
Mm.
now over £400. I mean, that's all years old. You know, we're now on, 2000 series, 3000 series, and they're charging £400. Give you an idea, 980 Ti. This is how crazy, because I hoard. I've have quite a few of those. I collect graphics cards, like rare cards, limited edition cards,
I'm
and
sure you love this one.
ooh,
And
nice.
an
Yeah, Gigabyte
RX
Aorus.
5 Horus and
Yeah.
RX 580 with
Oh,
one of those razor thin hairline thermal pads that
nice,
tears off
nice.
easily when you take it off.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. Now,
yeah.
I sold. This is how crazy the prices are here. I only bought new one graphics card in my lifetime. One,
Okay.
brand new.
Right.
Mine, 980 Ti Gigabyte
Right.
G1, right? There was the King, right, when
Right.
it came out. That was £500, almost 4.5, 5 years ago. I
Right.
sold that card. The demand was so great for £450 5 years later. And I'm like, are you kidding? People, I had I started at 0.99 pence open
Right.
auction, and
Right.
people were outbidding each other. And I'm like, no, the card is worth £200. Why? And someone won it. I
Really?
said, yeah, and sold for 450. That was lowest. There was people paying £500 like buy now, and then people were like £600. I said, are you crazy? That's 3 times the value of the card. RTX 2060s, RTX 3060s and 3060 Ti's, like gold. Got to a point where people that mind, they're buying laptops with RTX cards, man. That
I'm
is
kind
crazy.
of surprised that when you buy, they don't use proprietary connectors to power up the graphics card because that's one
Well,
short. Because
well,
come on,
okay, Nvidia tried with the frigging that stupid pin
right?
bang on the middle of the card, makes no
Oh
frigging
my,
sense, right? And it's like, okay, I can understand why, because of the power hungry, because it does suck a lot of power, but you can provide another PCI 8. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I bought two systems, right?
I
I've
remember when I bought only one card, which was the Pellet 4870.
48. Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
And that was like 2 by 8 pin PCIe.
Yeah.
Back then, the card was like, it
I
was like,
know, I know. I bought two systems recently
right,
to help somebody out. It's got a
right,
RTX 3090 from KF82. It takes three 8 pins, right? It's a beast of a system on a
right,
Ryzen 9,
right.
5960X, 16 core,
Yeah.
32 threaded,
What kind of power supply is it with?
1600 watts, I
Must be
think.
Corsair HX or Seasonic,
Corsair. No, hold on. I'll double check.
which would be Seasonic OEM at the end of the day.
Uh, I will check. Because I bought this, I've not done nothing with it. I haven't had time.
Right. Oh shit. That's a Lee and Lee.
There you go. So if an RTX 3090 can have two pins, okay, two 8 pins, right? Why do we need this new standard? But this got oh, I can't remember. But I think it's a Corsair 1000 watts. I think the other one has got 1300 watts. So it is. Yeah,
Either it's a HX
it
or a
is
TX.
HX 1000i. Yeah,
It's a
Corsair.
silicon.
So not
Yeah,
it's decent power supply. You know, it's you can't have a
yeah.
system
It's
like.
a. I believe the original HX series was Seasonic OEMs. I'm not sure about the newer
Yeah,
ones.
I still have power supplies. The
Right,
1600, the AX 1200, which is like
right,
beautiful. You know, solid 10 years
right.
and still going strong. But yeah,
And yeah, that's man. Actual graphic cards where you justify using 850 platinum to 1000 watt gold series
hmm
power supplies. Because back when 1000 series was that, we used to think like, hey, what could you possibly need a 1000 watt power supply for? It
Unless you VMod the graphics card
right,
to bypass the limitations of the power draws.
right.
Yeah,
It
but
just doesn't make any sense. But now
yeah,
it's like, hey, go
yeah, but
crazy
then
because I
yeah.
yeah
Well, you need a decent power supply. Now, if you're on the Intel platform, I'm shifting from Intel to
right
Ryzen.
in
I've got two
right
systems now. One is
right
for editing, one is for streaming, gaming, whatever.
right
That was the plan. So I've got the two Ryzen 9s, the 3960X and the
hmm
5960X. One's got an
right
RTX 3080 and it's water cooled. Everything's water
right
cooled. Um, Hold on, can I? I can't shift. I was gonna. I was gonna hook up OBS and be able to see, um, but what I noticed, especially in Intel,
hmm
they lost their way, man. They've lost their way. I mean, the power draw from the 10900K
right.
for versus the power draw of this Ryzen 16 core 13th. My
So
God,
guess which
this
CPU.
with idling at 62 degrees under load, man. A
Guess
Ryzen, an AMD, the hot boy, you know, oh look, it's going to burn like the pile driver architecture, like 8350. And now it's the other way around. Yes, it can't hit 5.3 gigahertz, but we've got 16 frigging cores. Oh, don't drop your motherboard.
no. It's all safe. There's a FOMO there,
Yeah,
and here's the thing. I guess which CPU MSI gave me as a loaner to test the motherboard.
I don't
They gave
know.
me 11900K as a
11,
loaner.
11
Uh,
900K.
and
Okay.
I can feel the heat on my toes. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And guess what? I was not so just to test how everything was going.
Yeah. What power supply did you use?
I tested on an onboard graphics, idle, not
Okay.
doing anything.
Yeah.
Guess what? Refused to power on NZXT 650.
Yay! A 650. Yeah.
And so the only power supply that I was able to power on was a power supply my friend over Herschel gave me back when he used to use it for extreme overclocking. The one with the Antec 1000 watt power supply, the one with the racing stripes, the
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
school,
Yeah. Yeah.
the semi-modular,
Yeah.
the first big ones, the one with
Yeah.
servo
Slap.
power supply. That was,
Yeah.
so I was like, whoa. I was like, yeah. I was like, hey, it's good to have spare power supplies because you never know what
No,
kind
you
of stuff.
definitely need, and what's also because of Intel's lack of innovation, because they've been struggling at the 10 nanometer for like they've been delayed 3 years, four.
Right,
Now it's been pushed, and now they're probably going to copy the chiplet design that AMD
Right.
successfully, people were
Right.
taking the piss, and it's great. It's great utilizing chip. Maybe the silicon quality is not there, but you put it in a smaller chiplet, different
Right.
nanometer. Boom! You can put 16 cores. I mean, look at the EPIC series now from
But
AMD.
yeah,
Look at the EPIC series, man.
yeah.
Compared value for money versus Intel Xeon's top platinum, right, which has been the standard for enterprises,
Right.
and EPIC series Rome comes in, boom, and Intel hasn't got an answer. Doesn't have an look. We can add 32 cores, 64 cores. How many cores we want? We can just add it on. The
Yeah.
Matisse, boom, and Intel's like, okay, we're going to glue two, and we're going to call it a brand new processor. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I know that.
And
It
it's
just
like, and I was just like, no, okay. I was originally a AMD person, FX62 dual core 2.8. That was
right.
my first. Still have that motherboard and that processor. Still have it. Told you I'm a hoarder. And I went to Intel back in Pentium 4, Q6600,
Right.
um, and work all my way up. And my system right now still a 4790K that I'm using right now, even though that I've got access to all of this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
So
I've
yeah.
right 47. I'm not. Look, my little, my poor baby, still 8 years, 8 years, and
That's
it's
a
just
half X.
yeah. Great case, Cooler Master FX, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's like sometimes, even though that I go, but it just does what it needs to do. It's been
Right.
like flawless, except Windows has not been flawless. Um, every time there's an update, it messes up with all the
But
USBs. But
it was from a different time. I mean, I don't have the heart to upgrade from a Lianli A70F that I bought in 2007,
mm,
because that's like a very roomy case, and that
mm,
makes sense now because now
mm,
power supplies with flat cables are like a norm. So
yeah,
even though these cases are like not designed for
for
cable
it,
management,
yeah,
the flat cables can actually be routed through the
mm,
rear and just be done over with. So yeah, and I'm really I'm really confused with the 11900K. It's like, what were you guys thinking?
yeah. What was the purpose? And then they
Yeah,
changed the way that the turbos work. Turbo 3.0, 3.0.
right.
They changed
And
it.
the
So it's only
yeah,
one core or two cores, or if the temperature threshold hits, then it dials down. They just skewed up. They're just confused. I mean, the whole skew
right,
from a customer's point of view, it's so
right.
messed up now. So messed up that it just doesn't make sense. You got some
And the,
processors that's got cores. Before was had cores no hyperthreading, or had
right,
lower cores but they had hyperthreading, and it's like
right.
nuts.
It just doesn't make any sense. And the worst part is the adaptive turbo
Yeah,
when they
yeah. No, unlock
uh,
it. Anybody that's buying an unlocked a X
they're still
processor,
on they're still on beta BIOS.
no,
They're still on beta BIOS, irrespective of motherboard.
mm,
Nobody has released a final release with
mm,
adaptive turbo, which is like, shit. You guys got in the shitter now. I
yeah,
mean, okay, fine, good that Pat is back in the saddle and all, but we are not going to see anything from him
no.
until
They even
after.
said that Intel themselves on their investment financial meeting, they
Right,
stated that
right,
one, we're nowhere near where we're supposed to be in regards to where we need to be on the 10 nanometer. You're looking at 2023 to have a substantial product range for a consumer retailer, for the retailer. 2023 on that is mental. 2023. 2 years on TechWorld is a lifetime. Can you
right.
imagine the ground at AMD? I mean, look at the share price of AMD, man, and look at the share price of Intel. I know Intel still has the dominance sharehold across, the server
Yeah,
market, but look at the gains that AMD.
Yeah, they
You
were
know,
just hovering above $1 per share,
this is a,
and
this
they
is this is a company that was virtually on the verge of bankrupt until Lisa came
Lisa
in,
she
man.
saved. She was like a
Oh,
savior to that company.
oh
Bless her
man.
soul.
Now, if they applied, they concentrated on the CPUs, which was the right
Right,
thing, and now the GPUs is getting some decent traction. The
right,
6000 series, you know, the HMB, they put all
yeah,
the eggs on that, and that backfired. The Vega 64,
right.
it wasn't adapted. A lot of people didn't jump on to, HMB2 Plus or whatever you want to call it, the stacking of memory. But 16,000 series, sweet! If you can get it at a decent price,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, but for the performance that it offers, it's comparison to the ridiculous pricing of a RTX 3090. Wow. And just to let you know, RTX 3090, unless you're playing 4K, if you're using that at 1440p, there's not much of a difference compared to
So
the RTX 2080 Ti.
yeah,
At
so
4K, yes.
yeah,
At 4K, yes, because it's been specifically the actual architecture, but when it's been specifically the instruction set's been specifically
right,
set for that.
right.
But if it's not playing 4K, it's not utilizing that instruction set, is it?
Yeah, it's not. Uh, I've been told by my friend that somebody in India is building a system with dual RTX 3090
Yeah, yeah,
because that's like the only NVLink card, and he's like, hey, I want to know like
yeah,
how is it, like
yeah,
how bad is it? And it's I mean he had a other card as well, which is like he sold it at a very high price, and he's buying
yeah.
this as well. So I mean I would say it's madness because
I mean,
hey,
don't get me wrong. If you're using Adobe and video editing,
just for gaming,
48 gigs of VRAM, but for gaming,
just for gaming, just for gaming.
what
I
sort
mean
of
like
monitor, what refresh rate monitor are you going to use on that? Seriously.
I yeah I know.
240, 360 hertz? What?
Yeah, but still, the pricing is crazy. I mean, even if you're like loader guy, you have to think like, hey, why would I spend so much on a
No,
graphic
see,
card?
I've not bought. I never buy anything at launch. I'll wait a good
Right,
6 to 12 months, and I buy second hand. Always
right,
second hand, refurbish or part of the system. The reason I bought this system and another system that you've not
right,
seen yet was because the guy needed some funds to start his own business at home. He's a personal fitness guy, and he does
right,
classes. All the gyms been shut for months, so
right,
he doesn't have nowhere to bring this client. So
right,
I bought a system from him 4 years ago,
right.
and
Oh,
4 years later we revisited. So I visited, pick up the systems and rekindle that relationship and help them out. So there you go. I don't need systems. I've got about
right.
7 of them. I've got frigging unfinished projects. I've got one back there, um, behind that picture. I'll show you. That's not even finished. That one. That's unfinished. That's
Is that your
a
drawing?
900K with a Corsair Formula board. Well, and I've not even finished that. So I don't need the systems, but it was the right thing to do for him at that time. So.
I'm, I'm,
Say it again, sorry.
I'm just curious. Is that your drawing behind you? Uh,
No, this was a gift.
oh,
I will
that's pretty good.
I will show you why. Okay.
Oh man,
This was a gift from the Traders Reality person. This is his logo. This is the logo that I saw in the thumbnail, the first video, that um, that attracted me to first click. And the reason he sent me this is I was the the first person, um,
Oh, Traders Reality.
uh,
Oh,
the first
you
person using his
one
system
1 million pounds.
to become the million pound trader.
Oh shit!
That's special to me because I'm the only person in the world that's got that.
Dude, that is
And
so
nobody
good.
knows what he looks like because he never shows his face.
Hey, that's the beauty of the internet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hence why I'm
wow.
wearing his clothes branding
Pattern
and
watcher.
yeah. So it's played a very key part of my life that allows me to do things like I've done to you today. Too many.
Ah,
So, all right.
wow.
But I've missed working with tech because for 12 weeks this has been my life. I work, come home, sleep for 2 hours. 6 o'clock, I firstly project. I
I can
study.
relate with that.
3 o'clock in the morning, and then go to bed, sleep for 2 hours, go to work. 4:45, I work all day, and it's hard work, very intensive. You know, if I make a mistake, I kill somebody. I can't make mistakes. I work for Bentley Motors. I'm building a seat. I've got explosive on the airbag. If I don't do that right, it deploys wrong. It will kill somebody. So yeah, I take that very.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, man. So
Wow.
crazy life,
Oh, yeah.
crazy life, but a humble life, which is nice. So I'm taking
Oh,
2 weeks break from trading. So I did my last trade. So I've just been helping people on the Discord. There's 4,000 people on the Discord on Traders Reality, and
that must have been some a very different experience from PC community.
yes, it was a very steep learning curve. In essence, I've only been trading for 12 weeks, but I've crammed 24 weeks of knowledge because I've
In
obviously
one.
been studying, um, and yeah. But then this is what happens when you start being successful, and 95% fail traders. It's a higher fail rate than like the SAS, the Special Marines, the Russian Army
Right.
training, the French Legion. That's 70%, meaning per 10 people that is go in, seven will quit or fail. In
Right.
trading, is 95% fail. They'll burn. They'll lose everything. Right, and I've been dealing with like 927 people in the last 12 weeks that they just burnt their accounts. They lost everything within the first hour, the first week, the first month, the first 3 months. So I've been trying to come up with strategies to protect them, e.g., to help them, because I understand the concept to a point that I can break it down, change it to
Right.
fit a purpose. And if that's to protect the people's money that they invested, then but they need to learn it, and people don't want to learn. They just want to feed for a day. They just want a quick buck.
It doesn't work that way, does it?
No,
Never
no,
works.
they
Nothing
don't
works
want.
that way.
They don't want to. When I said, well, you need to go to the videos and watch them. No, that's take too long. So well, I've watched 600 hours plus in the last 12 weeks. Doesn't happen. Do you think this is just going to be a millionaire? I started with £8,500, like for $12,000. That was my
No, no.
starting capital 12 weeks ago. It doesn't turn. It's not like a lottery. You have to be consistent. So yeah. Plus, I'm a holder of crypto, so it does help that we're on a bull run at the moment. You know,
Mm.
happens every 2 years. So take advantage of it. Sell, and 2 years it will calm down. But a lot of financial institutions jumping in, my friend. Mastercard,
I
Visa,
mean,
PayPal,
I'm just curious.
Amazon.
What are you holding on as of now?
So again,
Are
sorry.
you, what are you holding as of now? With crypto?
My friend, I've been a holder for 8 years. My portfolio is over 750 coins. So
Right.
yeah, but
But
the
oh,
one
if
one that's firstly coming up right now is
right.
XRP. XRP in May and June, my friend. Yeah, XRP.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Even though
you
they're
do?
oh yeah, it's one of my biggest bags. I bought XRP 8 years ago,
Yeah. I mean, the
and I've been
price has.
buy I've been no I've been buying ever since, non-stop. non-stop. And
Okay.
XRP, even though there's got a lawsuit, which that lawsuit is dead.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, lawsuits come and go, but the pricing has been going
No,
downwards.
people misunderstand what XRP is. That's the problem. They think it's a store of value like a Bitcoin. It's not.
Right.
It's a vehicle, a cross-border payment vehicle to move value from point A to point B, and people don't understand that. So is it? I'm watching right now. $1.57 on a coin that's got a lawsuit over his head. You know, roll back November, the price dropped to less than 56 cents. Went down below,
Right.
and here we are still with a lawsuit, and just happens to have over 100 banks partnered with Ripple Inc. over 57 countries, and
Right.
every other country in the world treat it as a currency apart from US. They're basically trying to deem it as a security, which makes no sense. Yeah, look it up, my friend.
Right.
No financial
All right.
advice, just look it up.
I know. I look it up.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
few coins that it's virtually doing really well. There's a coin called Bake, which is a Binance.
No, okay.
Was a dollar. Was a dollar for 2 days ago. Now it's $7. You know, you got
Yeah. There has been a lot of success
Binance.
stories.
I use a Binance exchange.
Okay.
Binance has his native coin called BNB. I bought it in
PNB.
November at £14.95. It's now over $600, my friend. 6 months later. That's the sort of thing. It's what I studied. I've read over 1,200 white papers over the last 8 years. So I like to learn. I like to absorb on the right things. So when I say I don't have time to stream, if I'm not streaming, I'm learning. When I
Right.
stream, that's my relaxed time. I need a break from learning. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Well, when I'm not streaming, I'm picking up the case, taking things back out so that I can reassemble it and put it back in. I mean, I'm getting too old for this. And now it's like to the point I don't carry upwards and put it on the table. I just go below the table and just get it done because I don't want to. I'm like, hey, I need to take care of my backbone a little bit better than
yeah,
before.
yeah. Start creaking.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Nah, cool. Right, my friend. Time for me
I,
to
I,
go.
yeah, I
Uh,
really appreciate it.
no,
Thank you so
I'm
much for
sorry
your time.
to.
Thank you for everything.
No, no worries,
I,
man. I hope that
I,
helps. I
I,
hope that helps, and there's some
I
people
that
from.
definitely helps.
Okay, okay.
Dude,
No, no worries.
I wish you so much happiness and
No, no, I'm content, my friend. I'm
yeah,
content. Like, for example, I don't buy stuff for myself. I don't buy flashy cars. I mean, my car's 12 years old, it's a Vauxhall
right,
City era. You know, I got just a normal house that doesn't leak. I'm
right,
happy. And just carry on. I'm just carrying on. People keep saying, "Oh no, you got money? What are you going to buy? You're going to buy a Lamborghini? You're going to go like expensive holiday?" I'm like, no, I'm just carrying on with my life as normal. It just gives me
well,
more
once you
options.
spend that money, it's gone. It's never
That's
going to
what I
come
mean.
back.
95% of it already I've been reinvested in staking,
Right.
which is passive income. This is what I've been doing for almost 10 years. So
Yeah,
that's
and
95% of the risk taken away, and it's like a savings account. And
right.
each day is just drip, 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 drip. Lovely. And that's,
Ah,
yeah.
that's so cool.
No, man. Have a look at staking. I think it's something that would benefit you, my friend.
Okay,
Yeah.
take a good look at it.
No, because in essence, it's like killing two birds with one stone. Most people buy and hold a coin and wait for the price to go sky high, like
Right.
Bitcoin, and then sell. Well, while you're holding, you could be earning compounding interest and pays you in coins, so your amount of coins grow, grow, grow. So by the time it
True.
hits the big price, then you can sell part of it. So treat it like a bank savings account, except a savings account. If you drop, I don't know, 10,000. What's the rupees? Is it rupees?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what's
yeah.
10,000 rupees or 100,000, 250,000, or a million
Right.
rupees on a savings account, and leave it there for a year. How much interest would you get at the end of the year?
4% on the savings.
Okay. Well, considering that on staking, the
Uh huh.
average is between 100 APR to 1,200 APR.
Right.
Okay, so annual percentage yield. So there you go. We got
And
somebody called the Tank joining it.
oh yes, speak of the devil. So Harshal, this is PC Shed. This is Sergio.
Ah,
He's
Hi,
yeah.
Sergio.
How we doing? Heard a lot about you, my friend.
Oh, okay.
All
we are
I
good.
hope I
All
hope
good.
I hope all good.
All good, my friend. All good. All good. Nice to talk to another fellow techie. As such.
Yep.
I'm going to leave you in peace so you can enjoy your Rust game. I know he's been waiting for you.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm sorry about that.
No, no. Sorry, everybody's busy, man. Enjoy
Yeah,
your
on
Rust.
a Sunday, it's a extra pain when your daughter asks for your time, and you just have to, all right, okay, I'll spend some time with you.
No, no problem, man. No problem.
Yeah,
Cool.
nice meeting you, and I hope to hear good things about you from Sosra.
Fair enough. Not a
Ooh.
problem.
Yeah,
All right. I'll leave you.
Sergio does. I believe you will be resuming your stream on Twitch, and I'm actually looking forward to it. In fact, I've been trying to guilt trip Tank to come from YouTube to Twitch, because when you go to YouTube, it's youtube.com / C equals to XQMCYA.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
true.
That's the thing with YouTube. Once you don't, because I use it just for archive. I don't monetize.
right,
Um, and once you don't have the volume to change the criteria, because I used to have my own, ticket, YouTube / BC Shed, and
right,
now, because I didn't do volume, in views and counts and subscribers, they just took that away. So okay, whatever. But if
right.
you type, YouTube / BC Shed, you
Yeah,
should,
it should be good. Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. It's only for viewing purposes, for learning and sharing. It's like a video log of my life. So,
Oof.
anyway, I'm going to leave you in peace, my friend. All
Yeah.
right.
Take care of
Enjoy
yourself,
the rest
buddy.
of your day
Yeah.
Yeah.
and have a great time. Oh, with the
Oh,
silicon.
there it
There
is.
you are. All right.
Yeah,
Nice
sorry,
to meet
sorry,
you.
it took some time for me to sort this out.
No, that's all right. I
Yeah.
can see you. A techie
All right,
background,
Sergio.
techie background, a techie background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
well,
never
techie.
stops for us. It never stops
Cool.
for us.
Awesome. Have a great day, my friend.
Thank you so
You as
Enjoy,
well.
much.
enjoy your gaming session,
Thank you.
and hopefully you don't die. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a new
Okay.
territory for us. Let's
Keep
see.
safe. Keep safe. Right, take care. Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh wow.
Nice. Yeah.
Dude dropped $600, man.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did?
he did.
Wow.
He's such a
That's
sweetheart.
really, yeah, that's generous, man. That's really sweet.
That is an understatement. Like, wow,
Yeah.
dude.
Oof.
Oof.